One of the items on the Seder plate is the Zeroah, the shank bone, or as some communities do it, a roasted chicken neck. The Zeroah, the shank bone, is not eaten at the Seder table, but is there rather to remember the Korban Pesach, the Paschal sacrifice, the Paschal lamb that was brought and offered up in temple times. What's the message of the Zeroah? The fact is that the Korban Pesach, the Paschal lamb, was not only brought in the temple. The very first Paschal offering was in Egypt. God instructed the Jewish people on the 14th day of Nisan, the day before they left Egypt, each family should slaughter a lamb, smear the blood on the doorposts, and then eat the roasted meat in their homes that night. After they would eat it, there would be the firstborn plague at midnight, and the next morning they'd become a free people and leave Egypt. The commentaries ask an interesting question. The laws with sacrifices are very strict. There are many sacrifices taught in the Torah. Normally, with most sacrifices, the halakha, the law is that a sacrifice is a holy thing and therefore needs to be brought and offered up in the temple on the holy altar. A sacrifice cannot be brought outside of Jerusalem or outside of the temple. The only exception is the original Paschal lamb, the Pesach offering that was done in Egypt. That was no temple, no altar. It was brought in Egypt, slaughtered in Egypt, and eaten in their Egyptian homes. Why? The answer to this query is because the original Korban Pesach was the foundational sacrifice that was the introduction to the Jewish people becoming God's people and becoming a free nation. God's message when He prepared them to go out of Egypt was the following. You are going to become a nation, you're going to become a free and holy nation. In your journey as a nation, you will engage in many holy and spiritual experiences. You will pray, you will study, you will bring sacrifices. You will have many experiences where you engage in intense spirituality to inspire yourself, to boost yourself, to upgrade your spiritual connection. But you need to know the following. Those spiritual experiences are going to be critically important, but they will not be the goal. The goal is not to remain embedded in a spiritual experience. The goal is to draw from that experience into your normal, routine, mundane life. God sent us this message by the very first sacrifice. He said the very first sacrifice you're going to bring is not going to be in a temple. Your home is going to become the temple. As the Medrash says, the Egyptian doorposts became the altar. They were able to transform their homes and make their home a place where a sacrifice can be brought. Yes, we need spiritual experiences. We need intense shul, yeshiva, holy type of experiences, but the goal is to draw from that into regular, mundane, routine experiences. On Pesach night, we sit down to the Seder. The rabbis tell us that the Seder experiences is extremely lofty and holy. In fact, the commentaries say that the Seder experience is compared to the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, going to the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur. And yet it's not Yom Kippur. Yet we do it in our own homes. Because by looking at the Zeroah, by looking at the shank bone, we remind ourselves that yes, in our journey we do need spiritual experiences, but the ultimate goal is to turn our home, where we have the Seder, into the environment of sanctity, to turn our lifestyle, our businesses, our eating, our sleeping, everything we do that is mundane and ordinary, into part of a meaningful experience, a part of divine service, and part of the connection and journey as a free and holy people.